now we can look at our top shelf bets, our favorite bets, Tuesday, February 28th. We'll start with Pittsburgh and Nashville. The Penguins are minus 140 on the road. Predators plus 120 over under 6.5. A lot going on in Nashville. David Poile, who has been their only general manager. The team came into the NHL in 1998, and he's been in charge since. He's stepping aside for Barry Trotz, former coach of your Washington Capitals and former coach of my New York Islanders. And of course, former head coach for the Nashville Predators. He will take over for Poile. The Predators have traded away Nino Niederreiter. They traded away Tanner Jeannot. More players will be traded from Nashville, it seems. The Penguins, meanwhile, things were not looking good. Then they stabilized with a win in St. Louis, which was a good effort. Probably shouldn't have gotten even close to overtime. And they win it there. And then they trounced the Lightning against Brian Elliott. But Pittsburgh does look like they maybe have stabilized a little bit. However, the defense is just tough for me to handle laying it here. So I'm going to pass. What do you have?
Yeah, I like the Pens in regulation. I think it's a great play. I still don't think the Predators are close to the Penguins, even with respect to what their flaws are. And I don't think the Preds are a good team to expose what Pittsburgh's flaws have been recently, defending the rush and defending in general. I still think the Preds are going to struggle a lot at 5-on-5. I know they've had a couple big performances versus Florida and Arizona lately. I don't think that's going to be the going rate. And I still think the difference between the top talents on these teams is massive. So with Jari back, hopefully stabilizing them, the Penguins in goal, I think there's a pretty wide gap between these teams. And I'm willing to play Pittsburgh here to win in regulation.
For me, it sounds like sacrilege, given my Coyotes at home stance, but the Hawks are plus 150 against Arizona. Arizona's minus 175. The over under 6. I cannot, I'm doing that kind of cartoon thing where they like wipe their eyes. It's just hard to see minus 175 next to the Coyotes. And I know the Hawks are bad and they traded away Kane, but they're playing all right.
Yeah, and McCabe. Don't forget McCabe.
Yeah,
McCabe.
Yeah, McCabe
He's
and
good.
Lafferty. Yeah, they they I just don't know. Like for a team like and Jack Johnson, like for a team like this, it's
that's anti. That one surprised me because I know he was there. I know he won with Colorado. He seems like the best dude in the world, but like he literally looks like one of the worst players in the whole league. So that, yeah.
But it's in terms of this game, I just can't get my mind around the Coyotes being a minus 175 favorite against anybody. So look, if you're going to give me plus 150 to go against Arizona, even if it's at the magical Mullet Arena, I'm going to take it. And just hope that the gap between these two teams, it doesn't look that large, even when you take these guys off. And we should have some spirited efforts from players like you said, Athanasiou, Max Domi, Connor Murphy, like players that will want to get traded from Chicago. So I'll take the Blackhawks in Arizona.
I like it. I'll be rooting against you because I need the Hawks to start losing. I need them to lose this game. I need them to finish dead last. So please win, Arizona. Come on out and do it. And the one, there's a couple player props. I think Barrett Hayton is going to remain really interesting. He's been really good lately with Keller and Schmaltz on the top line there. That line's been absolutely dominant. So if Barrett and Hayton point is still around plus 100, minus 110, which is what it was versus the Preds, I guess you'd think it would drop to about minus 120. But anyways, I think that's a strong play. And if you're on a site, maybe with some single game parlay options for points, I think parlaying parts of that line is a fun option as well.
It's a good way to end it. Chicago Blackhawks. And like I said, if you wanted to like dumpster dive with a round robin or parlay, it would be Habs, Hawks, maybe a look at the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then like maybe the Isles or the Kings if you want to keep it as a plus money thing. The Lightning if you want to anchor it with a favorite. That would be my suggestion. Anyways, with that, for Nick Martin, I'm Michael Leboff. Thank you for listening to another episode of Line Change. Be sure to check us out on the Action Network pod as we break down the trade deadline, look ahead to some futures as we head down the stretch. And thanks to our sponsors, BetMGM. So that's us until Thursday. Until then, best of luck with all your bets.